Twitter has agreed to more censorship on the behalf of authoritarian governments like Modi, right, saying that they're going to censor information related to, maybe the persecution of Muslims in India than any other previous administration. So he doesn't care about free speech. And there's just they frame it in such a way where it makes it seem as if the arbiters of speech are suddenly companies, corporations, all these social media companies. Like, you think the internet is massive. We only go to about 5 of the same websites or apps every single day that own everything. It is a complete monopolization of our attention on the internet. And in that structure, they are dictators. It's all dictatorships. They choose what speech is or is not free. They get to choose, this is how we do or do not apply our TOS, because it's never the same thing. It's like, the more profitable or bigger channels get a lot more passes than the little city baby channels that just get struck down because people don't like them, right? As long as this is the structure of the whole system, the right are fooling everybody by saying they care about free speech. They don't. You can look to any one of the things that Elon Musk has done, including what he's done to Matt Binder, for example, where all of a sudden he's like, I am free speech space Karen, man. And he's going after people who are revealing his public travel information, saying they're assassination coordinates. Wait,
did you get in trouble, Matt? Did you get in trouble with Elon Musk?
Oh, yeah. It was a big thing in December of not last year, the year before that. I was one of the 6 journalists that was suspended for reporting on him banning the Elon jet tracker. Yeah. I'm back on there now, but I was suspended for
a check mark too.
Yeah, I have a blue check mark still too because he punished me. He wanted to punish me with the shame of a blue check mark because I was making fun of people who had one.
Now everybody thinks he pays for Twitter.
No, I think his name is Lord Farquaad. He's Lord Farquaad from Shrek. I think he's a very, very little man, and he is a very insecure person. Well, I think a lot of those people are, but he to me strikes me as someone who wasn't like, I don't know, was not in the social world, maybe as a teenager, maybe wasn't so popular. I don't know, but he's a very small man.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah,
small, and how
overcompensating now.
Oh my God! Well, I think they're all kind of like that to some extent, all those guys. But he's just very, I don't know. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I don't think anyone here is.
Yeah, not a fan.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk about Chuck Schumer because today he said something that has pissed off a lot of people, not us. Although I will say that there's a difference between rhetoric and actually changing the policies, but I'll play his speech for you. He's on Twitter defending himself, taking a lot of heat. But here's what he said. This is about Netanyahu in particular.
I have known Prime Minister Netanyahu for a very long time. While we have vehemently disagreed on many occasions, I will always respect his extraordinary bravery for Israel on the battlefield as a younger man. I believe in his heart he has his highest priority is the security of Israel. However, I also believe Prime Minister Netanyahu has lost his way by allowing his political survival to take the precedence over the best.
He had it before.
Yeah.
He has put himself in coalition with far-right extremists like Ministers Smotrich and Ben-Gvir. And as a result, he has been too willing to tolerate the civilian toll in Gaza, which is pushing support for Israel worldwide to historic lows. Israel cannot survive if it becomes a pariah. As a lifelong supporter of Israel, it has become clear to me the Netanyahu coalition no longer fits the needs of Israel after October 7th. The world has changed radically since then, and the Israeli people are being stifled right now by a governing vision that is stuck in the past. At this critical juncture, I believe a new election is the only way to allow for a healthy and open decision-making process about the future of Israel, at a time when so many Israelis have lost their confidence in the vision and direction of their government. Hamas and the Palestinians who support and tolerate their evil ways, radical right-wing Israelis in government and society, President Abbas, Prime Minister Netanyahu. These are the 4 obstacles to peace. And if we fail to overcome them, then Israel and the West Bank and Gaza will be trapped in the same violent state of affairs they've experienced for the last 75 years.
Yeah, so I mean,
everything he said was just ridiculous.
Mhm.
Like, I don't even know where to start. And quite honestly, for me at this point, every single person who comes forward now is still irredeemable at this point. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, there's nothing like, okay, now Chuck, you're on the good side now. No. Like,
well, I don't
I
think
just,
he went that far. I think it's basically he's blaming everything on Benjamin Netanyahu rather than like as if like this is a solely Benjamin Netanyahu and his far right cabinet. You know, was it Ben Gvir who had like a photograph on his office for a long time of an actual like mass murdering terrorist who killed a whole bunch of and like you knew who you were associating with. This isn't a surprise, you know, that these are individuals who are perhaps really really big on dehumanizing Palestinians to the pass of committing like mass murder and stuff like that. Like.
Yeah, and just to follow up on this, so this is basically getting backlash in Israel. They're pretending as if he called for regime change. Israel is not a banana republic, but an independent and proud democracy.
I mean, he kind of did. It was uniquely American to be like, you know what, this has gone too far. We think you need a new government.
Like, that's great.
You could interpret it that way. So yeah, they're molding right now. They're not very happy about this. They're apparently stunned by what he said. And look, I think that what he said is good. I'll accept a change in rhetoric because it's better than nothing. But if you continue to support the continual supplying of weapons, it really doesn't make a difference. You could say what you want. I mean, what was it last weekend? Joe Biden said that Rafah was a red line, but then said he'd never cut off weapons to Israel in the same sentence. And then the next day, in a different interview, Netanyahu was like, "Yeah, I'm going to go into Gaza also. No two-state solution." So I mean, like, if there's no accountability, your words don't really hold any weight, you know?
Right.
No.
Right. I mean, I do think it's the one thing to take away from this is that there's a very clear turn, though. I get that there's no action yet behind these words. They're just words. But also these words weren't being said even weeks ago. I think the activism, the uncommitted vote movement has clearly made its mark.
Yeah, not just in the U.S. too, in Canada too. We recently just restored funding to UNRWA, and today Justin Trudeau said that he is going to now limit all non-military sales to Israel until there can be an investigation into potential war crimes. Again, it's not where it needs to be anywhere close, but that's something. You know, that's a major thing for Canada. Canada's a massive Israeli and U.S. ally. We are completely dependent on the U.S. military to do whatever we want, you know, in terms of being assholes globally. So
thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.